a big announcement you want to make. You texted me and
yeah.
said, I have an announcement I want to make on your show. What is the announcement? Let me get a drum roll. What is the announcement?
I'm writing a book, my first one.
You're writing a book, congratulations.
Thanks. You know, I think over this past decade and even more, so many people have asked me like how I did what I did, how I built what I have. And I realized it's so important, and this is like the deepest message in the book, is I want people to live their life in pursuit of their calling with nothing holding them back. And so many times people know what their calling
All
is.
of Desi aunties just entered the chat like, what was that?
I know, it's hard. I think we're all told, and I think that's a big part of it. Like I talk about society's expectations, right? Like not being able to always do what we love because of the expectation, right? Having to go against that grain. Like for me, that is how I got here. And all those constraints, whether it be things like, oh, do I not have enough money? Do I not have enough time? I don't know the right people. And I kind of, I use my own story as a cornerstone for it, but it's so important to me to teach those lessons, right, to people on saying like, don't let fear make you, not do what you love. I failed so many times when I started the company. I started it in 2011, okay? Most people did not hear about ClassPass until like 2015. What happened in those 4 years? A lot of mistakes, and I think I just got very okay with the idea of failing. And so I'm just so excited. The book will be coming out early next year. It's called Life Pass, and
Life Pass, I love that, that's awesome. In the book, and I know you even mentioned it previously, you talk a lot about time being a very valuable resource. Talk to me about your time. How do you spend your time? Talk to me about your calendar. Are you obsessed with your calendar? Do you live by it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it started when I was like in 3rd grade where I used to take like my school planner.
You're talking about like an addiction, like it all started when I was 13.
Well, I realized, and this goes back to like what I talk about in the book, is for me to live my life like doing what I loved, which like was dance at the time. I realized I had to like take care of my responsibilities. And if I could do my responsibilities like in a certain amount of time, it left me more hours of my life to do what I wanted, right? Where a lot of people, if you don't think of it like that, you just kind of waste away the hours doing a lot of stuff.
This is the first time in my life I've ever thought about this.
Really?
The way you just said it.
Yeah, and so I live my life by my Google Calendar. So what I do is, without looking at my calendar.
How do I not know this about you? I'm obsessed right now. Tell me everything.
So on Sunday night, I go through everything that I want to accomplish in that week, right? And so this is all like different parts of my life, whether it's stuff for like my family and baby, to stuff for work, to stuff for like my creative stuff. I go through everything and I like write out what I really want to accomplish. I don't even look at my calendar yet, because usually my calendar could sometimes map to that and sometimes it doesn't. Then I go and I cancel anything that doesn't map to that.
Really?
And I'm very okay with that. I do not feel guilty about that. Like unless I know that there's like something important with that meeting, I am very okay with not feeling guilty about my time. Like
that's why we didn't hang out last week. No, I'm very okay with canceling.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's like a contract that I have with like, my friends know that. Like I'm ambitious and I care about living my time wisely. You should also use other people's time wisely. I've learned to do that too. And I don't want to waste someone's time when I'm
Y'all hear that, by the way? That sentence right there, use other people's time wisely. Y'all hear that? Cool. I'm gonna ask you a really intimate question.
Good.
The next time we hang out,
can
I see your calendar?
Yeah, of course.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, my calendar is, I mean, it's crazy, but it's what I live by. I'm not crazy
I
about
might make
color
your calendar
coding.
my desktop screensaver, honestly.
Yeah, no, but you know what it is? Like, your calendar should be something you wake up to and are excited by, right? Like, it's the first thing I look at in the morning, and if I realized if I'm not excited about what's on my calendar, like that there's a problem. There's like a massive, I need to make a shift in my life, right? Or something, and I've made some big decisions in my life. I've made like 3 or 4 major career decisions that are like people think are insane. But a lot of it comes from me being like, I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. And I feel like I'm talented. Like I can go and do something. And so I think that's like at the crux of it, It's like
from now on in the show, we're gonna ask what would Bile do. That's gonna be the thing. For the remaining of this show season, the next 4 hours, we are going to ask what will Bile do. Here I am like a sucker taking pictures of your drawers when I should have been taking pictures of your brain. I've scratched the surface of your organizational skills. I'm a sucker.
You can't
in your
outsource
pantry like an idiot.
It's funny, like going back to that, like outsourcing things, I'm okay with that too, right? Because I'm like, it's either me or other people. Yeah, we've talked a lot about it.
It's a pride thing. I'm like,
I'll that's like the Indian auntie in us a little.
Catch me. I was like, I'm going to IKEA, buy the cheaper version of every jar you have, I'm gonna do this myself. Why did I do that?
I know, it's that trade-off of money and time, right? Is it like worth my time or is it worth my money, right? And
I'm very cheap. This is a whole separate issue. You know this.
But I think what happens over time, and I think when, especially I went through like the crazy growth phase of ClassPass when we were like literally launching a city a week, I just realized I didn't have time for that. Like I needed to find someone to do my laundry. Like it was about me investing in my future, right? And it was about me knowing that I'm in a growth phase right now,
Right.
and that my time is is more valuable than money, right? And that hopefully like one day things will work out, and thankfully it did in my case,
Yeah.
you know, but like it's really about being like my hour of like my brain is more important in this hour than like me sitting there doing my laundry, you know? But it's about
I feel like you're slapping me across the face spiritually, and it's amazing. It's amazing. I want to ask you one more thing. You had a son in the middle of the pandemic who is perfection, by the way, model baby, could be a model. How has that been? Because have you felt like, oh my God, he's not getting to experience the world?
Yeah.
And now slowly the world is opening up. Like, what's the experience been?
I've never taken him to the grocery store or like shopping. Like honestly, like still, everyone like calls me a mom, and I'm like, I haven't done a normal mom thing. Like I've never taken him to the store, like to feel like to see how it feels. So part
You've
of
never
me,
had him throw a temper tantrum in the store.
exactly.
You
And
have
I'm
to live
like,
that experience.
he's like half the size of me already. So I'm like, how am I gonna maneuver
It's
this
true.
child?
How old is Zane right now?
He's like 16 months right
He's
now.
Piles' height.
Yeah,
Legitimately,
literally,
he's as tall as Piles.
seriously. So I'm like, how am I gonna do this? So anyways, I'm excited for the world to come back together to figure out how I'm gonna like wrestle my kid in public.
That's amazing. I can't wait. I promise you I'll be right by your side recording the whole thing laughing.
Thank you.
It's like a true friendship.
Thank you. I was like, I thought you were gonna say I'll be there helping, but no. Okay, got it.
No. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm so happy to have you. For everyone watching at home, you can pre-order Life Pass. You sold me completely. So pre-order Life Pass right now and grab it, because hello, all the things about time and stuff. Jeez. I'm gonna get this book for myself. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this clip. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more just like it. If you don't, none of us can leave set.